Cool.
Introduction to skeet. Skeet was developed as an experiment in the 1920s in the US by field shooters who wanted to practice their skills outside of the regulated hunting season. It proved to be very popular, and a national competition was run to find a name for the new sport. The winning name was skeet, believed to be derived from the Scandinavian word for shoot.
Hi, my name's Laurie Saraceni, and welcome to the world of skeet. I've been shooting and coaching skeet for 20 or more years. It's a game I love dearly. Hopefully, after this introduction, you'll enjoy and be able to shoot some good skeet too. Oh.
Hi, my name's Colin Witt. I'm a state coach of play target shooting, and what we're going to do today is to give you a few pointers on personal and firearm safety while skeet shooting. Because we work in such close proximity to the line of the flight of our targets, I strongly recommend that you wear some form of eye protection at all times while you're competing. Gun safety is also paramount. Make sure your gun is open when you're not shooting, and if you're moving around with it, that it's broken over your shoulder and that you are muzzle conscious at all times.
There are two main variations of the game. There's standard skeet, which we're doing here today, and Olympic skeet for elite shooters. They're both shot over exactly the same layout.
Let's have a look at a standard skeet field. The US has never converted from imperial measurements, so we will give approximate metric dimensions. There are 8 shooting stations spread around a semicircle of radius about 20 metres. The centre of the circle is the crossing point. Skeet is single barrel shooting, meaning only one shot per target, with at least 16 different target presentations in a round of 25. Targets are thrown from 2 static traps, one in the high house behind Station 1 and the other in the low house behind Station 7. They exit the high house from about 3 metres and pass the crossing point at approximately 4.5 metres above the centre of the circle and travel about 55 metres to ground. Targets from the low house emerge at 1 metre and similarly pass the crossing point at approximately 4.5 metres, again travelling a distance of 55 metres. Ideally, in nil wind conditions, these trajectories are constant, and variation in target presentation is achieved by shooters varying their positions from Station 1 through Station 8. On every station, you always commence by shooting your single-release targets first.
Ball.
Skeet doubles are a simultaneous release of a target from both houses, and these are shot on Stations 1, 2, 6 and 7 in a standard round. Scoring is 1 for a hit and 0 for a miss. The first miss in a round of 25 is repeated and counted as the 25th shot. If there are no misses, then Station Low 8 is shot twice to record a perfect 25.
Firearm safety is most important in skeet shooting, as it is in all forms of shooting. When you've reached your shooting station, only load your gun at that point in time. Oh! Before you leave your station, make sure your gun is completely empty. You should also be careful or conscious where you're standing while waiting for your turn to shoot. You should never stand in front of your referee because he or she is required to adjudicate during the full round of competition.
Generally, in skeet shooting, a much more open choke is used than in the down-the-line discipline.
Skeet guns have relatively open chokes to optimise the pattern of shot for the relatively short ranges at which skeet targets are engaged, although it's no handicap to use a down-the-line shotgun to shoot skeet, providing the chokes are adjusted.
A more open choke gives you the optimum shot pattern at the estimated distance a target is away from the station, therefore giving the shooter the best chance of breaking the target. There are several methods of shooting moving targets. We'll quickly discuss two of them: swing through and sustained lead. Swing through means starting the barrel behind the target and sweeping past it, releasing the shot as soon as you are ahead of the target. Sustained lead is a method that starts the gun ahead of the expected flight path, and the barrel is never behind the target. Because skeet targets are predictable, sustained lead shooting is a very apt method. It allows the shooter to apply lead with precision. Universally, the top shooters in skeet use the sustained lead method for shooting, because this method returns the highest percentages in their scores.
Let's talk now about where to place our feet on the shooting station. Now, there are many theories about where to place your feet, and I guess they all work to a degree. My advice is to keep it simple. Avoid unnatural or exaggerated stances. For example, let's say we want to set our feet to shoot that small target on top of the brickwork there. Well, you wouldn't stand perpendicular to where I want to shoot and the gun across my body like this. That feels very uncomfortable. And I wouldn't stand directly facing the target either. That feels uncomfortable too. You'll find a very comfortable position would be at about a 45-degree angle from where you plan to break the target. So now we've determined we want to break the target round about the centre of the field. So we adjust our feet accordingly, offset at about a 45-degree angle with a little bit of weight biased onto my front foot. That allows us a good easy rotation around our front foot to keep our eyes and body in good alignment with the moving target. Now, our hold position, the classic skeet hold position for sustained lead shooting, is approximately a third of the distance between the trap house and the crossing point. So let's have a look here on this field. We've actually set a pile of markers out there at about a third distance. And remember, the hold point is two elements. It's direction and elevation. We want to be holding just below the flight line of the target. Call pulled. When the target emerges, when you see the blur of the target, smoothly accelerate, be ahead of the target, match the target speed with gun speed, shoot and follow through. Now I'll shoot a high house and a low house from this station. Break point, feet, rotate to the hold point, pole, low house, break point, hold point, mount the gun, pole, shoot and follow through.
In skeet shooting, you're required to limit the arc of travel of your shotgun barrels. You are not allowed to pass inside an imaginary line between the high house and the low house. That depicts the field of play. You are not allowed to swing your gun inside that imaginary line. That is considered dangerous. Ball.
As well as this video, there is a shooting sequence described in the Australian Clay Target Association Shooting Rules Book, available through your coach or club secretary. It can also be downloaded from the Australian Clay Target Association website for free at www.claytarget.com.au. While shooting, it is most important to find the target and maintain a sharp focus only on the target. It is also essential that your fundamental technique is sound and your swing is smooth and controlled. Initially, it is a good idea to shoot with some experienced skeet shooters, and you will soon get the hang of it. And this will also help you in applying the sustained lead method of shooting. The correct leads will become impressed into your mind by practice, and more practice under the guidance of your coach. The time of flight of a skeet target is a little under 2 seconds. Take your eyes off the target and your percentages will go down, guaranteed. So the trick to sustained lead shooting is to keep focus on the target and apply the correct lead. It is difficult to describe leads because people have different perceptions of distance. The interpretation of 10 centimetres or 1.5 meters may differ from person to person. So we have introduced a new unit of measurement.
We're going to use something that most people are familiar with. Could be a volleyball, or a water polo ball, or a soccer ball, or in this case a basketball. And most people have had experience and know roughly what that distance is. So if I tell you you need 1 ball length ahead of the target, that's about the distance I'm talking about. And if you look over my shoulder, you'll see a plank in the foreground with 4 ball lengths marked out. Now if your coach tells you you need more lead, you might add a ball length, or less lead, take one away. This way you'll be able to more accurately judge the required lead you need to shoot a particular target.
Now let's follow a competent skeet shooter through a round of skeet and see how it should be done.
Okay, here we are on station 1 of the skeet field, and I notice you've got ear protection and eye protection, as have I, very important. So we shoot, the sequence here is a high one, a single high one, a low one, and then a pair, correct?
Correct.
I see your feet set up to shoot that high one.
Ball.
Great shot.
Ball.
I like the way you follow through, that's really terrific. Now the leads that I saw you applying, it looked like you weren't using any lead at all on the high one, just shooting right at it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And about a ball width in front of that low one. All right, let's shoot a pair now.
Ball.
I like your follow through, that's really nice. Good shooting. Let's go to station 2. Okay, here we are, station 2. I can see we've got some markers out there for our hold point. So you're set up to shoot that high house. Looks like a bit before the crossing point, would that be right?
That's correct.
Okay, let's have a look at it. You call.
Ball.
Great shot. I can see your feet are nicely set up to cope with that shot. Now, do you change your feet position between the high and the low shots?
Not on this station.
Not on this station. Okay, well, let's have a look at a low 2.
Ball.
Nice follow through, Nick. Nice follow through. Now we're going to shoot a pair now. Do you change the lead on the second target?
Second target of a pair requires probably approximately half the lead of a single.
About half the lead of the single. Okay. Well, let's have a look at a pair on station 2.
Ball.
Great shooting, Nick. Okay, station 3. A single high and a single low. And yes, I can see the aspect is changing a lot as we move around. So there's our hold position. Where do you hold in elevation, Nick?
Below the flight path of the target.
Just below the flight path of the target. And the leads, we're going to use about 3 ball widths on both of these, I'd say. 3 ball widths on the high and 3 ball widths on the low. Yeah, well, they often say it's better to be ahead of the target rather than behind, especially while you're learning.
This from in front.
Okay, well, let's have a look at a high 3 and then a low 3. You call.
Ball.
That's a great shot. I see you shoot it just about a little bit before the crossing point there. Do you always try and shoot it in the same place?
Always try to shoot every target approximately the same place for consistency.
For consistency. In other words, eliminate variation.
Eliminate variation, and for when we shoot doubles, sets you up for the second shot.
Okay, sounds like a good plan. Let's have a look at a low 3 now.
Well,
I like your follow through there, Nick. That's really fantastic. You don't come to an abrupt stop, you just keep on shooting through.
very important thing of shooting skeet, good follow through.
Okay, station 4. So we use about 4 ball widths on both of these, a single high and a single low.
Ball. Ball.
Now I noticed, Nick, you changed your feet position then. Any reason for that?
I changed my feet position on this station to accommodate for when we shoot doubles.
Okay, so you're not trying to shoot both targets at exactly the same place. You're trying to shoot the high house a little before the crossing point,
Yes.
and the same with the low house in a different spot before the crossing point.
Right.
So the high house on that side, the low house on that side. And so you change your feet to get the best possible angle on the target.
Correct.
Good thinking. Okay, let's have a crack at station 5. Okay, this is one of the long crosses, station high 5, and it can be a bit of a tricky target because if there's a bit of wind behind it, it really motors along. And the reason for that, of course, is that this high target isn't really doing as much work as the low target. The high target's already starting from 3 metres above the ground and only has to climb to 5 metres. So it's still got a fair bit of energy as it crosses a crossing point. So you don't want to be behind this one, correct?
That's right.
Yeah, well, I reckon 4 to 5 even. You might go to 5 ball lengths on this high 5.
Sounds good.
All right, let's have a look. Okay, you call.
Ball.
And feet position stay the same to shoot the low house?
Feet position on this station is the same for low house as the high.
It can be a tricky station, this low house, because it's coming from such a low elevation that there's often a lot of background clutter. So it's important to really see the target clearly, isn't it?
Gun position on low 5 is very critical.
Critical to get your whole position right on low 5. Okay, let's have a look. You call.
Ball.
Wow, that's really smoked. Great shot. Okay, station 6. So here we shoot a high, a low, and then a pair, shooting the low house first.
That's right.
And the lead on the high house, about 2 ball lengths, and the lead on the low house, about 1 ball length. You want to be ahead of those targets. Okay, let's have a look at high 6.
Ball. Ball.
That's a nice smooth swing. I can see using sustained lead. You don't have to move the gun so quickly, just a nice steady movement to the target.
Sustained lead gives you optimum gun control.
Gun control, optimum gun control. That's what we want. Okay, let's shoot a pair now. And I notice you haven't changed your feet on this station.
No.
You're already set up for the pair.
Ball.
That's good shooting. It's a little difficult when the wind's blowing the targets around like that, isn't it?
Where the sustained lead gives you the opportunity to see the target and have control over it the whole time.
I notice all around Station 7 here there's all these broken shards of clay target. That looks like it'd hurt if it hit. What do you reckon about people who might try and shoot skeet without wearing eye protection?
They need their head examined.
They need their head examined. I couldn't agree more. Okay, now we're going to shoot a single high, a single low, and then a pair, shooting the low house first from this station. And the high 7, we're going to use about 1 ball length of lead, and of course the low 7 is straightaway target, you just shoot right at it, correct?
That's right.
All right, let's do it.
Ball.
I notice that you really puff it up, so part of the idea of skeet is to make sure you get the target in the middle of the pattern all the time. So you really, really work hard on every target, correct?
You've got to work hard on every single target.
Okay, there's no easy ones out there, are there?
No?
Okay, let's have a look at a single low 7.
Ball.
And of course, no lead is required for that target either, is there?
No,
You
low
just shoot.
7 as the high one's going away from you. No lead required.
No lead, just shoot right at it.
Right at it.
Okay, let's do the pair.
Ball.
I like the way you follow through. Well, our hold positions don't really add up on this station, do they? So where do you actually hold to shoot this high 8? Where do you hold the gun before you call?
Hold the gun below the chute so I don't lose sight of the target ever.
And below the flight line, yeah.
Below the flight line, so you've always got visibility of the target and approximately 2 metres out.
Okay. And so it's moving over the cross